Hi folks, Matt Randall here again, back with another Randall production, and in this video I want to talk about the DJI Mavic Pro drone. I want to share with you my buying experience and my first time flying experience, so stick around. Alright, so here it is. This is the brand new DJI Mavic Pro drone. Well, I say it's brand new, but it's been out for a few months now. Now, if you're a regular follower of this channel, you know that we mostly talk about music, guitars, gear, that sort of thing. And you might be wondering why we have a drone on this channel. Why do I have a drone? I've said in the past that I don't vlog on this channel, and I still don't. But I did also say that I do vlog some of my own personal experiences just for keeping memories, that sort of thing. This past year, we took a trip overseas. It was a 3-week long trip, and I managed to vlog, daily vlog as well, the entire trip. And I was able to bring that back and share it with friends and family, and they really enjoyed it. This past Christmas, I was asked to make a video of our family's Christmas experience so we could share it with other family, extended family overseas. And where we live, where we celebrate Christmas, is pretty close to the beach. So I was pretty tempted. I really wanted to get a nice wide beach shot, and I thought a drone would just be perfect for that. At the time, I was quite intent with just the DJI the Phantom 3 drone, not even the professional, the standard Phantom 3. The price point of that at the time as well was really good. But the salespeople there did a pretty good job, managed to convince me that it wasn't going to be good enough, it was only going to get me very basic shots, and that I should look for something a little bit better. So they tossed back and forth between the Mavic and the Phantom 4. Now at the time they were virtually the same price. The big difference was the Phantom 4 was available in the country in stock. The Mavic was still on back order. So I spent a lot of time thinking back and forth, is this Mavic really going to be worth the wait? Or should I just get the Phantom 4 now? You can see I ended up waiting and I got the Mavic. But I waited a heck of a lot longer than they told me I was going to have to wait. I pre-ordered this sometime around the 15th, 16th of December last year with the expectation that it would be delivered in early January. Now I should also add, I didn't buy it from DJI Direct, which you can do, and they will ship it worldwide for free. For local support reasons, I wanted to buy it from a reputable local distributor, a local retailer here, and so I did. So all the indications that they had was that this was going to be available mid-January. So already I knew I wasn't going to be able to use it for my Christmas Day video. I said, fine, that's okay. I'll make that video without the drone. I also knew I had some time off coming up in January, and we were going to spend some time in an area of New Zealand known as the Coromandel. Now this place has some of the world's best beaches. You might have heard of them. Hot Water Beach, New Chums Beach, just to name two. This is a beautiful scenic place, and I thought, what better place to start my drone experience than in the Coromandel? So that was scheduled for late January. So I thought, no problems. I'm going to have this by mid-January. I'll have a week to get used to it. Be able to take it out in late January and get some awesome wide-angle beach shots. But mid-January came and went, and I still had no drone. I talked to my local retailer. They had no idea where the drone was. As far as they knew, it was still expected mid-January. I even went and started looking in DJI's forums, and their expectations were it would still ship mid-January. And then mid-January came and went. Now about a week out from me taking that vacation in late January, the drone still hadn't arrived, and I was getting nervous. So I started looking around in DJI's online forums, and I discovered a worrying trend. This was also around the time where CES, the big tech expo, happened, and they launched this more publicly at CES. Now what was starting to happen was that DJI ramped up their production to line up with the release of the drone at CES, but they were only shipping at that time to customers who had bought at that time through DJI itself. So customers who had back ordered even through DJI, customers who had ordered through retailers overseas, distributors who had placed massive back orders with DJI, they were still waiting. And yet on DJI's website, they had started to promise 5 to 7 day turnaround for shipping if you order from them direct. And there was post after post on the forum of customers who had placed orders in October, November, December, who still hadn't had them. And a week later, customers who had just ordered in mid-January, their drones were starting to turn up. This was really starting to get on my nerves. So I talked to my retailer and they kept telling me the same story. They had no idea. Their distributor for the drones in New Zealand had no idea where they were either, except they knew they weren't going to be out when they said they were going to be out. Anyway, my vacation, our time away in the Coromandel came and went, and I have no nice drone shots to show you of it because there was no drone. A couple weeks after that, now we're in early February, the first week of February, another statement came out, apparently from DJI. It's still speculation that it may not have been from DJI, but essentially these are made in China. And early February, that first couple of weeks in February, that is Chinese New Year. And there was talk that DJI was going to shut down production of this drone for 2 weeks while they went through the New Year celebrations. Now, it didn't appear that it actually turned out that way, because maybe a week after that announcement, they started shipping them out in record numbers. Forums were starting to fill up as well with people who had placed orders in November, December. They were getting their back orders. Customers who had placed them in early January were getting their back orders. Distributors were getting their back orders. But I still didn't have mine. Maybe the second week in February, on a Wednesday, I contacted my retailer again and said, do you have any idea where this drone is? Am I going to get stuck in the Chinese New Year holdups? They told me the same story that their distributor had been telling them, which is what DJI had been telling them, which was nothing. They had no idea. Then 2 days later, Friday, I get a text from my retailer saying, good news, your product has arrived in store. I have to admit, I was very skeptical. I was racking through my mind, have I bought something else? Because the text didn't tell me what it was. It just says, your item has arrived. It's an automated message. So yeah, I was extremely skeptical. Too skeptical, in fact. I started saying, this must be a mistake. This must be a mistake. It can't be the drone. Could it be the drone? How could it be the drone? They just told me 2 days ago they have no idea where it is. But I turned up to the shop, it was the drone. Yeah, a full 8 weeks after I placed my back order, it arrived. Now the problem with this is not that it took 8 weeks. The problem is that we were all told, not just me, countless others on DJI's website, countless others on the forums who had placed back orders long before mine as well, but hadn't had them delivered. They hadn't had those dates kept to. And the whole way through this, DJI was saying nothing. There was no communication. There was tiny bits saying, we're going to start shipping on these dates, but they didn't. Their customer support, their online customer support, wouldn't answer my queries because I didn't order through the online customer system. They wouldn't answer lots of people's queries other than to give them the standard piece of paper that they had already, the standard script. Regardless, here it is. It got here, and I'm not going to do a review of it as such. There are hundreds of reviews out there on it. But the other thing I did want to talk you through was my first time flying experience. Now this thing is a piece of cake to fly. You can get it up in the air once the battery is charged in 5 seconds, 10 seconds. You just have to put your phone in the controller, start the app, connect it up, swipe right, and off it goes. Now my first time flight experience, I don't have any video of it because I was focused on not crashing it. But that quickly turned into, let's see if I can crash this thing. Not intentionally, of course, but I read and heard about its sensors, its ability to sense objects in front of it and not crash into them. So we took it out and we tried to crash it. I wanted to know just how good it was. How fast can I fly it into something before it realizes there's something there? Does that something need to be a big brick wall, or will it work with trees? Let me tell you, it's impressive. Very impressive. There are 2 sensors right on the front. There are another 2 right on the bottom. Importantly, there are none on the sides and there are none on the back. Why is this important? Well, I was flying it like this, straight at me, and it did a fantastic job. And it came right at me and pulled right up. It knew I was there. It didn't go any further. I tried to fly it into a brick wall. It did the same thing. It went straight at the brick wall, pulled right up and pulled back. I tried to crash it into the ground. It knew the ground was there, it came down and stopped right on a dime. And then I pushed it just a little bit too far and tried it one more time. This time I flew it straight at that same brick wall, but I was a bit lower and a bit closer to the edge of that brick wall. And on the edge of that brick wall was a plastic pipe, a drainage pipe. And it did what it was supposed to do. It went straight at that brick wall, pulled right up, and stopped. Then a big gust of wind pushed it, and it went this way. It twisted sideways. And when it did that, it went straight into the pipe and came crashing down to the ground like that. And it made me extremely worried. What have I done? I've read all sorts of horror stories of people taking these out, losing them. I've watched Casey Neistat take his first one out and fly it and lose it on the roof of a building somewhere. This can't be me. I can't go and get another one. This can't be it. Fortunately, all it did was put a scratch on top of the battery case where the blade had come in like this and the propeller was rubbing against it. And it did ding up two of the blades, so I did have to take them off and replace them. Fortunately, it comes with extra propeller blades, and they're not expensive to buy if you do damage them. So apart from that, it's in remarkable condition for something that was flying with these things spinning at ridiculous speeds straight into a pipe and down on the ground and crash. It's held up really, really well. So that was my first flying experience with it. The next day, we took it out to a local beach and we got some footage. Now this taught me that really taking a drone out like this on its first flight in your backyard, unless you've got a massive backyard, it's maybe not the best idea. So the next day I learned my lesson. We took it out to a wide open beach at the end of the day where there was no one around, and we took it out and we flew it, and we got some awesome images. And I'm going to play that for you in a second. I want to note as well that I didn't change any of the settings on the video. I didn't change any of the color. There's no color grading done to any of this footage. This is straight out of the box. It was shot in 4K. It's been downsized to 1080p. Now, having sat down and gone through that footage, I might have changed a few things. I've since adjusted the sensitivity of the camera so I can get some more smoother panning and that sort of thing. But I got this on my second flight. Now, I'm not bragging about my abilities. I'm bragging about just how good the footage is out of this with a novice pilot. I have no experience flying model aircraft. I've never flown a drone before. The one time I had flown a drone before, I crashed it into a house. So anyway, that's my story. Here's the footage. Hope you enjoy it, and we'll see you in another Randall production coming soon.